you know we had to talk about the highly anticipated WWE 2K24. And as you can see, we have a very special guest because there is only one man that we felt confident bringing on the show to explain exactly what we are seeing. Ladies and gentlemen, Chazz from the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. What is up, dude?
What's going on, guys? It's been a while. But I'm the resident Mark of the wrestling. I'm the resident Mark as a wrestling fanboy for you people at home. So that's me. So I'm here.
There was only one person we could have here, and Chazz, let the fans at home know how long you've been a wrestling fan for, so that they can understand the level of expertise that we are bringing to the show right now.
When I say forever, I truly mean that. I was born on a cold February day in 1986, and I literally remember, like, in the 80s, like 89, 90, like, watching wrestling and stealing my brother's figurine. So, like, at least I'd say 1990. In 1990, the Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan for the championship, and I have memories of watching the Warrior as the champion in 1990. So a very, very long time.
Adam, how about you, man? How long you been watching wrestling for?
I would like to admit that I haven't been watching recently. I probably stopped when my least favorite one is Randy Orton. I hate that guy. And so when he was like the face for a little bit, him and John Cena, and like, so that's kind of where I stopped. But before that, ever since I was like young, like 6 years old, so 2000 on to, was it like 2010 is when he's took over. Like, he was the snake. Is that what they called him? Did they call him the snake?
Or
something like that. The Viper. Okay, yeah. So that's kind of where I got out of it, because I hated Randy Orton that much.
But you're supposed to hate it, right?
Yeah, I know, but it just made it too bad for me. I couldn't do anymore. Couldn't deal with Randy Orton anymore. So that's what about you, Dave? Where are you at?
I myself, and I will shout out again to baby bro Pete, love you, buddy. I have been a fan for a very, very long time, since the days of me running into my brother's room and putting him in the sharpshooter until he tapped. I've been a wrestling fan for a super long time, so I'm actually kind of super excited about this game, and I hope that you guys are kind of excited about it too. I think first things first, let's go ahead and roll the trailer, because the trailer is going to show us a lot of things. And Chazz, I'm very interested to know your thoughts about this trailer.
I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I like how it's kind of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, so guys, if you're just listening on the Spotify, basically what we're seeing is a little Roman Reigns action and a little Cody Rhodes action. We got some Bianca, and then it's giving you the quintessential kind of action-packed WWE atmosphere. But this is where it gets very intriguing to me. We are seeing Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Now we are seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now we are seeing The Undertaker. So this is where the trailer gets very, very interesting to me, and I'm kind of excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. Bam, you got any excitement for the game? I could see a little smirk coming out.
I love 2K. Like, I love wrestling games, even though, like, mechanically they're not always the best, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're kind of choppy in a way. Like, they don't have the best mechanics, but just like customizing your own character, doing all the different wrestling matches, like Hell in a Cell or the money, like the Money in the Bank, like those are my favorite types to do. And then the freedom of making your own, like a wrestling arena, your own movesets. That's why I love this game so much in terms of that. But other than that, like, they're just fun games. Like, they may not be the best like sound mechanic games, but like, they're just fun to play. Fun to play with friends. Fun to do anything with them.
They really are fun. Chazz, what do you think after that trailer? What's your initial reaction after the trailer?
My mind went to a couple of things. First, my reaction when I saw Stone Cold's face, he looked awful. But everything else looked good. But Stone Cold's face looked awful for some reason. Maybe because he was like bald and like the other guys had hair. I don't know. Stone Cold's face looked awful. But other than that, I liked the fact it seems like it's relying into. Do you remember those old games, Legends of WrestleMania, that was out on like the original Xbox and shit? Those were horrible, but it was a cool concept. And a few years ago, maybe like 10 years ago now, I think it was WWE 2K14. They had a small like WrestleMania thing, and in the past few years, you had like Rey Mysterio's rise and Stone Cold's rise and like 2K15. So like this just said 40 years of WrestleMania. So I wonder if it's going to tackle all 40 WrestleManias. Like even if they give you like one match per WrestleMania, that's really ambitious and awesome, and it's 2K. So how are they going to fuck this up? Is my question.
I think I'm really excited that you kind of brought that up because we're going to touch on that in a little bit. But yeah, it is very, very important that 40 years of WrestleMania. But yeah, I mean, initial reactions from the trailer to me, I got that same kind of hype when I was seeing those matches because I'm kind of rooted in like the old school kind of stuff, and it's really exciting to see those matches. So we'll touch on that in a second. But I do want to ask you real quick, how are you guys feeling about having Cody Rhodes on the cover?
I don't think he is. I think that I thought it was a woman. I thought it was Rhea Ripley or something.
Is there going to be multiple covers? I'm guessing there's different like
Is that what it
editions
is?
that have kind of how they do with Madden now in 2K. So or like basketball 2K.
The only reason I said that I don't think it's Cody's because in his press conference after winning his second Royal Rumble last night, he said he's like, I'm trying to get on the cover of 2K25. That's why I was like, so I don't know if he was making a joke that he's on 24, but yeah, I see it here. Yeah, he is. Well, okay, so my bad. My B.
He might be making a joke there, but yeah, on this set, so on the standard edition, it is going to be Cody Rhodes. I think what you're thinking about is the deluxe edition. So on the deluxe edition, you're going to get Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley on the cover, and the WrestleMania 40 edition is kind of like a hodgepodge of all of these like legendary characters.
Cool for Cody. I mean, after watching Cody wins 2 Rumbles in a row, so I loved what happened. He wins the Rumble last year after coming back from an injury and gets beat by Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Like, that should have happened. The guy just comes back. He's not going to take out Roman Reigns, who's been champion forever. So now he wins a second, so he loses Roman Reigns. He beats Brock Lesnar a few times. Now he wins the Rumble again. So now he has the steam. And he's going into WrestleMania where Roman Reigns has been champion for almost 4 years. Almost 4 years. He won the title in August of 2020. And now Cody Rhodes has all the steam in the world to beat him. So he is the face. He's the face of the company. Like I saw him on that press conference last night, and he just had every right answer. He's positive. He's smart. He's good looking. He had every right answer. They're trying to ask him about the stuff that's going on in WWE, and he just had the right answer. He didn't say no comment. He had the right answer and just moved on. So he is their face, and they're doubling down hard on him, and good for him. He deserves it.
Do you think they're tipping the hat here, though, to the possibility of Cody winning WrestleMania 40, though?
No, because there's no guarantee he's going to win it. I mean, he lost to Roman last year. Roman hasn't been pinned since 2019. The dude hasn't been pinned in 5 years. So like, I think Cody will win it because he's earned it and he's built himself up. And plus there's all this like intrigue with Roman Reigns' cousin, The Rock, coming back. And, The Rock could get involved and screw Roman over and Cody win or something crazy, right? I mean, that's a discussion for later. So I don't think there's no tipping of the hand because I don't think necessarily Cody's going to win, but I think he has the best shot in years of anyone to dethrone Roman.
Adam, you think they're tipping their hat a little bit?
Maybe. I mean, they kind of tipped it with him. I don't know. It's almost like they tipped it for the Royal Rumble yesterday because like he's the face of this trailer right now. So maybe, you know what I mean? Like he's the face of the WWE and he got the cover of 2K24. Does that mean he's going to win it all? I don't know. There's
no precedence for that, really. I mean, and plus, like, I believe the year, no, that wouldn't be true. But what I was going to say is Cody wasn't actually the favorite, like even betting wise, Cody wasn't the favorite going into it. CM Punk was, and I am not a CM Punk fan. So thankfully Cody won. CM Punk is a biatch. So yeah, that's what we're going to say about that. So
Yeah, he has come back as a little bit of a diva. I'm not really sure what's going on there, if that's story arc or if that's really just his personality shining through. But yeah, a little bit of a diva for CM Punk there.
I follow a lot of the behind the scenes stuff and like, what he went through in AEW or what he put AEW through and how he was towards the end. And I love that he didn't win because the whole reason he left WWE 10 years ago was because he was sad that he wasn't headlining WrestleMania. Like, tough, dude. There's 2 guys that headline WrestleMania. Two. Okay, and I'm sorry, you are not John Cena status. You're not Triple H status back then. You're not Undertaker status back then. And Roman Reigns was going to be the new guy because he was young. So that's why he left. And I love that he came back and complained, and he made verbal in the ring that I never won the Rumble and I'm going to go on and headline WrestleMania. And he lost. I'm so happy. I love it.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe they tipped their hat, maybe they didn't. I mean, only time will tell. But let's get into the game because I know everybody's super excited about this game. New gameplay updates. So this game is going to have a ton of new stuff. And just throwing out a few things here. They're going to be adding a bunch of new mechanics. So we got trading blows mini games. We got top rope dives into groups of people. We have double title matches. We have super finishers. We have new weapons like trash cans, guitars, mics. All of the weapons now are all throwable weapons. They're also going to introduce real referees that you see in the actual WWE, not just some generic referees. Yeah, and you actually have the ability with like how you can create your own character. You can create a referee too to have them like in the game for you, which is actually kind of cool. They reintroduced the backstage brawl. The backstage brawl is going to have a ton of interactive stuff like vending machines, glass panels to break. There's going to be a working elevator in the backstage brawl, which I'm super curious to see how that's going to happen. They've improved animations, so 90% of the facial expressions have been updated. They've improved ramp cameras, dive cameras, and the ability to move the camera during gameplay, which I think some fans are going to be super excited about because there is a little bit of times when you're playing the wrestling games where the camera gets a little janky, and it would be nice to be able to kind of like move it.
I think having that extra like the camera angles, it just helps engulf you into like a specific scene where it's like the one camera makes you feel like it's the same ring every time. Where this like you'll be able to turn it like, oh, we're at WrestleMania or we're at Royal Rumble and stuff like that, and actually get a feel of like the arena rather than just like arena from this angle only. So I think that's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it should be really, really cool. And the last thing is the Royal Rumble. They're now allowing up to 8 online an 8-player multiplayer online for the Royal Rumble, which I know fans are super, super excited about. Chaz, anything jump out on you there that you're excited about in the new gameplay updates?
It doesn't necessarily, other than you saying they're adding 2 more, because I believe they only had a limit of 6 people in the Royal Rumble. But other than that, it just sounds like they're recycling things. I mean, the elevator sounded cool, but like when you're like they're bringing back all they're bringing in all these new weapons like trash cans and stuff. They've had that all before, and they take it out. You know what I mean? So they're putting things back in, which is cool. But to put emphasis on that backstage stuff is interesting because they haven't done that in years. I remember the days that you like you said vending machines. I remember like jumping off of semis on people and stuff like that, like in the backstage. Yeah, that it is pretty cool. Like, I just like no matter what, I'm gonna buy it. It doesn't matter. No, I did buy 2020. 2K20 was awful, a glitchy mess, but I did buy it. But I'm gonna play it, and we're gonna see if it's good because last year's was fine, but it didn't break any ground. So it seems like they're trying to push something to make it more interesting to people instead of just relying on 2K's normal thing of like, everyone's going to buy it and spend all these microtransactions anyway.
Rinse and repeat kind of situation. One thing that I saw so I think a lot of with 2K like wrestling or WWE's 2K, I think they're heading in the right direction, or is like 2K NBA is like heading the wrong direction, if that makes sense. So I like where like WWE 2K is going, especially because like I think they're like for that side of things, like the WWE side is starting to listen to the fans, whereas like NBA is like, nope, let's just add skateboarding, let's add like my park to be open world GTA, they're losing people, I think.
Let's change the shot mechanics and shooting bar every game.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they had a formula that worked with 2K20 or like NBA, but now they're kind of going away from it. Where I think it's like WWE didn't have the formula, and now they're starting to find that formula because they are bringing a lot of improvements that fans are excited about.
Adam's side, choking on his own spit.
He's excited, guys.
Yeah, I've been dying for the last like 4 weeks. But anyway, I really think that they're listening to people, and it's hard because they have a quick turnaround with their games. Like every 8 months, they have a new announcement. So it's like you can't put everything in because they just don't have that amount of time. because I know there's a lot of things that people still want. But it's a time thing. But I think they're heading in the right direction, whereas like NBA is not.
Well, they brought back the biggest thing people wanted last year with the GM mode. People were like dying for that GM mode, and they finally brought it back. It was gone for almost 15 years, I feel like. So that was huge for bringing that back. And whenever I play that game, honestly, that's basically all I play is the GM mode. But it is cool, and I hope the GM mode's there again because people will lose their mind. So you're right, though. It does seem like, last year they brought back the GM mode. This year they're bringing back the more backstage kind of hardcore-y stuff. So they're catering to some of the older fans, which is smart because the younger fans are still going to like it anyway. The younger fans are not going to be like, oh, I hate being backstage and hitting people with chairs. Like, no, they're going to love it too.
And one other thing is so they had come out for GM mode, the devs have come out and said they really want to add a online GM mode, but they just don't have the time. That's what they want to add good stuff, but they're like, it's just too big of a project right now to cram into one game right now. So they're trying to bring in more features that people want. It's just a matter of time until they get them.
And especially with and who knows, I don't know, Dave, if it said what you were reading, what this roster size is going to be. The WWE roster is huge between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all the, legends that they like to bring back. But if they're doing 40 years of WrestleMania, even if you do one match at each WrestleMania, that's 80 people, give or take, Hogan's probably there 10 times, but still, that is a lot of people. And those are just the legends. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
I'm actually super glad that you brought that up because so what I read is they are going to try to do at least one match from each WrestleMania, and it's not going to be day one, so they're probably going to be releasing as many as they possibly can on day one with the game. But unfortunately, some of these matches I do feel are going to be DLCs later on down the road. But the plan for the game is to have at least one match from each WrestleMania, and because of that, you are looking at the hugest roster size in any WWE game ever, and they are toting that it's going to have 200 plus superstars and legends.
Whoa.
200 plus superstars and legends. Isn't that insane, dude?
That's nuts because you know what? They have the room. Just think about even a couple years ago, I don't know how many people were there, but you could have 40 created wrestlers. So there's definitely, they can have the room and they could do it. So, and still they got to have room for created wrestlers because I always make a ton. And then I go to the community creations and download, Snoop Dogg and stuff like that and have fun. But they've got to make sure they still leave room for the creation suite, which I don't think they'll get away from because that's so big.
Yeah, it's definitely so big, and I think they have a lot of freedom to kind of expand these rosters and stuff like that because the game itself, they don't have to worry about crazy open world taking up space or ridiculous level designs and stuff like that taking up space. I mean, these arenas are just kind of the arenas, you know what I mean? And they're not very big spaces. So I do think that that's the one thing that these wrestling games kind of have to their advantage is they do have a lot of space for a gigantic roster.
Yeah, essentially it's just a box with different cosmetics. Is what
yes, exactly.
Arena.
Every arena is just a reskin, basically.
I did see going back to the creator suite. I don't know if you guys saw, but they're gonna add you can quick save into the customization where that was a big complaint. Is you're working on something and you back out and it's all gone. You have to start over. So they're adding a quick save during your customization, so that's kind of cool.
I've been there, so that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. And then also a couple updates here. So they're updating some basic match types, which are going to be including an ambulance match, a casket match, a gauntlet, and a guest referee match. Any of those strike your interest? Because there is one specifically that I'm super juiced about.
The guest referee matches were always fun. They used to be on the old game, so the three of us could wrestle and I could be the referee and then all of a sudden start stomping Dave out. It was always fun to do it with your friends. So that's exciting to me. The gauntlet, no way. I hated that. The gauntlet was such a pain in the ass. I remember it was 6 wrestlers and you fight one at a time and you never respawn health or anything. So that one, it would be fun, but I hated it when I was a kid. And there's other ones, sure, those are going to be a blast.
Isn't that one that you can wrestle up to 4 different people at once or something like that?
The gauntlet is more it's it would be me against Dave, and then I beat Dave, and then all of a sudden Adam comes down, and I beat Adam, and then somebody else comes down. But I don't like get more health or anything.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a pain because then it's probably going to be in like the story mode, and you're probably going to have to do it at like WrestleMania, and you're just it's going to be so hard to beat, and you're going to rage quit. By you, I mean me.
I'm a big rage quitter too, so.
Okay, yeah, you rage quit.
Adam's got a specific rage controller standing by that he switches out when he needs to throw something.
I don't even get to. This one's so broken. Like, this is my son's like fake controller too that he uses. But when I need something to smack on the desk, that's what I use.
My cat knows when I'm getting mad at a video game. My cat hears me and she like gets off. It's not like I hit her, but then I start getting angry and moving around. She hates it. She gets away. She's like, "Nope, I'm out of here."
Peace out. But yeah, I'm super excited for the casket match. I don't know why. I think it's probably just nostalgia, but I have that like nostalgia of, you know, the Undertaker versus Yokozuna and the casket and like doing all like I don't know. I just like the casket match. I think it's probably gonna be gimmicky. Like I'll play, you know, 1 or 2 casket matches as the Undertaker and be like, all right, that was fun. I had my fill, but you know, whatever. I'll take it.
You'll be able to like actually interact with the casket too. So you'll be able to like open and throw, like hit people against it, put people in it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, really, really kind of cool. We talked a little bit about the GM mode, but there's so the big thing for WWE 2K right now is the My Rise story mode. So touch on that just a little bit. So the My Rise story mode, basically there's going to be 2 different stories in this game, the Undisputed for men and the Unleashed for women. And they are touting that the My Rise story mode is going to be more interactive and more meaningful than ever. So they're saying that it's more in depth with many more superstars doing actual voiceovers for the first time. So you're going to get much more of a real story like feel. They have new environments. They have unlockables from the My Rise story that are going to carry over into other game modes. And then just some very simple things like create a sign. I guess you can like when you're creating your character, you can create a sign that like your fans hold up in the crowd and stuff like that. So I mean, you know, if you really take your character kind of seriously and you really want like every single aspect of it, and I think they kind of gave you that. I feel like they're really trying to make it like this immersive experience where instead of just building a character, like you are kind of building your brand as a wrestler. And I think that's kind of cool. I mean, they're really kind of taking it next level.
No, they do that. They do the sorry. They do that. Though. I just want to say, like when you're like creating your character, you can even put like on your screen your name, your nickname, your Twitter hashtag, everything. Like you're right, you're building a brand that was like perfect, so you can build your sign. Like you could like, I'll never do it, but I could sit there and like create myself. I can like create my tattoos like one like 1 inch at a time if I wanted to. So I don't go that far, but that's wild. So I just like the way you said brand. That was a good one.
I think out of like any customization in terms of a sports game, WWE does it the best. Like there's no other game that does it better. And like David, I used to like stream, like I did a stream of like WWE 2K, and I made a whole thing like in line with my like brand of like, we called it Faction Night, and so we had like the split squad. My old Twitch thing was about bananas, so we would have a faction night and we'll have 2 different sides, and I branded all that and we called it the split arena or something like that, and made custom characters based off chat, and like you can really get in depth with it, and like each character would take me 45 minutes to make, and then like it was really cool. So that's why I love like the customization of WWE more than any other sports game.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, what can you customize on Madden? Just like your visor. Yeah, you're
Madden still has the generic. You're like still generic head 34. Like what? When are they gonna update that, bro? Like,
yeah, you can't even scan your face. I'm pretty sure WWE you can scan your face. It looks awful. It never works. Maybe just because I got the big beard, but for me it never works. But I don't know. Maybe like somebody like all baby face like Dave, it would work, but it doesn't work for me.
Madden used to have it, but it was also so bad. It literally just looks like they took a screenshot of a circle of your face and plastered it on. And like it never worked. But and like they're like, okay, line your eyes up with the little green dots, and it just looks awful. It never works. So
Yeah, there's like no depth to it.
Well, I was going to say, Dave, why don't you let everybody know how we determine our fantasy football draft order?
I was gonna say a lot like the faction night, dude. Like Chaz, actually, for our fantasy football draft, he's such a hardcore wrestling fan that he creates every single person in the draft. And basically, what happens is on a specific night we have a Royal Rumble, and based on where you get thrown out of the Royal Rumble is where you draft in the fantasy draft, and it's so much fun. I've never won it, but one of these years, one of the.
So basically what I do, since we have 12 people, you can only do like 30 and 20, Royal Rumble. So I'll do 20 Royal Rumble. The first 8 participants will be just some random crappy WWE guys. And then the final 12 are us randomly. And the first person thrown out is picking 12th. The next person pick out is picking 11th. And the winner is picking first. So that's how we do it. And no, me and Dave have never won. So.
Our time will come. Our time will come. But yeah, I feel like we're all kind of super excited about the game. But here's the part that we have to talk about that nobody wants to talk about. But we're gonna do it. There are 3 additions to this game, and I'm gonna run through them very, very quickly, and we're gonna kind of get a feel of everything here. So the standard game is coming out, and it will be okay. So preferencing this real quick by saying that this game will come out on March 8th. Yeah, March 8th or the 5th. So keep that in mind because we're going to get to that in a second. For this standard edition, it will be $59.99. It will come out on March 8th, and you will get 1 month of Peacock for free. And Chaz, why is that?
That is because, as of now, the WWE Network is affiliated with Peacock. If you spend your $5 or $10 for Peacock, you have free access to the WWE Network and all their live pay-per-views and pay-per-views of all time.
So they are taking what seems to be a very nice little 1 month free trial of Peacock, and they are turning that into a ploy to get you to sign up for Peacock so that you can watch WWE stuff, which, I mean, it's fine. Whatever. That's okay. With the standard edition, you can also pre-order the standard edition. So if you pre-order the standard edition, you will be getting the Nightmare Family Pack. And in the Nightmare Family Pack, it has 4 characters, which are Dusty and Cody Rhodes, Stardust, and Billy Graham. And you will also be getting 3 faction cards, which are Dusty, Cody, and Pharaoh.
I have a question about that. Something's wrong with that. If you think about the All Nightmare Pack or whatever, Cody Rhodes, Stardust, which was Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes. What the f is Billy Graham doing there? I wonder if that was supposed to be Gold Dust or Dustin Rhodes, and then they couldn't like strike up a deal to get him in there, because that doesn't make sense that Billy Graham is in there when it's a complete Rhodes pack.
I do agree. I think what they're touting here is like Billy Graham was like a quote unquote known nemesis of Dusty Rhodes, which, I mean, okay, yeah, okay, but like, I don't know. I'm with you. I feel like it's kind of weird to have him included in the pack. Adam, you think it's weird?
I guess weird. I don't know.
He's like, I don't even know who Billy Graham is.
It's been a while since I've like fully dove into WWE. I think. When did it change from WWF to WWE?
That would have been 2002, I believe. It would have been just after they acquired WCW. They acquired WCW in like March of 2002. That WrestleMania was still WWF, or like if you're on like TV, it would be like, oh, WW. That's the way they always say it now because they can't even say it. Yeah, they always. It's about that, yeah.
I was gonna say that's when I lost it, but no, that's not true because I like I said, I watched it until Randy Orton was the face for a while. But
I can agree with you, Adam, because I lost it there too, like that. And what I think it was growing up, I was so invested in these Monday Night Wars, WCW versus WWE, and then it just that. Just being so invested when WWE won and they bought out WCW, I was kind of like, yay, we won, and stopped watching as much for a while, for maybe like 4 years. And then for 4 or 5 years. And then I never missed a Royal Rumble. I never missed a WrestleMania. But as of Raws, I haven't been a weekly Raw watcher since then, 2002. But thankfully with the network, you can watch every pay-per-view, so I keep up that way. But yeah, I kind of lost it after that Monday Night War battle.
I agree. That's where I kind of lost it a little bit too, but we do digress. Okay, so next edition, which I think is going to be the sweet spot for most people, the deluxe edition. Now, the deluxe edition is going to be a whopping 99.99, and what you're going to get with that. What you're going to get with that is the 3 days early access. So you'll be able to play the game on March 5th instead of March 8th. And here's the thing, you're going to get the season pass, and the season pass is going to include 5 DLC packs right off the bat. And unfortunately, I feel like this deluxe is going to be the sweet spot for most people because I do believe that those 5 DLC packs is where you are going to get a majority of the legendary characters that are included in that 200 plus, yeah, included in that 200 plus roster of superstars that most people would want. You're also going to get 200 My Rise attribute points. You're going to get a supercharger, which unlocks all the day one legends that were on that you need to unlock to progress. You need to progress through the game to unlock all of those characters will just be unlocked for you. You're also going to get Bianca and Rhea alternate outfits and Bianca and Rhea faction cards. Chaz, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the extra price?
I mean, it is what it is. What I usually end up doing is I usually don't buy that, and then I regret it because I'll drop to 60, $70, and then like a month, like when the game comes out, 5 months later, I'll spend like 40 on the other thing, and then 30 on the other thing, and in the long run, I'll screw myself. So it's probably the better option. I end up never doing it, and I should, but I'm not surprised. It's what they do every year. So I mean, it's 2K. It's like that's what they're gonna do. Like, oh, you like the Undertaker? Well, he's in this pack here for $9.99. Like, that's what they're gonna do.
Adam, what do you think? What do you think about the extra price?
So I went back and forth. Kind of, I just pre-ordered a game, right? And I know it's a game that a lot of people are crapping on, Suicide Squad. And I happened to buy the full deluxe edition. And the reason I did that, and it's because of like thinking about kind of what Chaz is talking about, the extra packs that are going to cost $10 anyway to buy these, like the battle pass or the extra characters. So that's why I did it. So I think the $99 or the $100 price tag, unfortunately, it's the better deal because it's either you do that or you spend $50 for because it's 5 season pass things. Is that what you said, Dave? So $10, $10, $10, $10. Like, so there's an extra 50 right there. So to me, it makes sense. And it gives you extra perks. And like, even with like Suicide Squad, it was nice that I was like, oh, I get these cool skins like included, like, and I get the extra or the early access. So like, that's to me, early access is like an extra $10. Like, so it makes sense to me. And the fact that the standard edition is only $60, like they're sticking to that 60 rather than, oh, we're going with the market $70. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, I think the deluxe is probably going to be worth it. I think that's going to be most people's sweet spot. But last but not least, we got to talk about the WrestleMania 40 edition, and this one really grinds my gears a little bit. Because here's what we're looking at. The WrestleMania 40 edition is going to retail for $119.99, so $120. And you're going to get everything that's included in the deluxe and the standard and all that stuff before that. But in addition, you are going to get the WrestleMania 40 arena. You are going to get more versions of wrestlers, so like more outfits and skins, different timelines of these wrestlers. So Macho Man in a different time, Triple H in a different time, Rey Mysterio. You're going to get some gold faction cards, and that is about it. And this one, this is why this one really grinds my gears, because number one, the WrestleMania edition is digital only. So if you spend $120 on this edition, you can only get a digital download. You will not get a disc. You will not get a disc. You will not get a physical item, which that number one just really makes me angry. And I'm not sure why they're doing it. Like how cost effective it would have been to just not print another cover for the disc. I mean, I can't imagine they're saving a ton of money doing that. But also, here's the thing: most of the things that they're touting you're gonna get are not gonna be available. I mean, they're saying that like this stuff is going to be released to you later, and it's not gonna cost you any money. But it's still you're still prepaying for stuff. You know what I mean? Like the WrestleMania 40 arena has not been decided yet. Like they're gonna patch that in later and give that to you for free.
Well, yeah,
Um,
when the game comes
a-
out, WrestleMania is like a month away.
yeah, exactly. So it's like I don't know what they're doing with this WrestleMania 40 edition. You guys have any interest in this WrestleMania 40 edition at all? I can't. They're not giving you anything. It seems weird.
The only reason I might do it is just because it's only $20 more than the other one. But once you said what it is, I was just like, if there's no secret characters, if it's just depending on what the reskins are of the wrestlers, maybe just because like what you mentioned Triple H. Triple H has got a long career, man. He was the snobby blue blood in the mid '90s, bald Triple H riding the motorcycle. Like if those are all options, I might consider it for just $20 more, but yeah, if it's not that, if it's just like a different outfit or something, nah, I'm not interested.
The thing with like, as much as I just praise like WWE 2K, 2K in general, like it's a money grab. They're like, what can we squeeze into this game to get as much people's money as possible? And like like kids are like all about this. They're like, Mom, I need this skin from Triple H from the '90s. Like I need it, even though I wasn't born. Like it's been 15 years before I was even born. I need this skin because like he used to be my favorite character. You know what I mean? Like it's like these kids that like love these 2K games that like squeeze all the money out of their mom's savings account. Like I need this, Mom, and like so I think that's all it is just how can we get as much money from people as possible and still like improve the game. I mean like like I said, WWE's improving the game, but 2K in general is just a pay to win. Like pay to win to get your VC points and pay to win to get all these skins, and that's where I kind of draw the line with 2K.
Yeah, like I remember like, the super deluxe editions, even just like 4 or 5 years ago, like Resident Evil 2's deluxe edition sold out everywhere because you could get like the Raccoon City Police Department like figure or something. And like Dave said, now you don't even get a disc and you get like another skin of Triple H for $120. Like, yeah, it is kind of silly.
I miss the days of collector's editions, dude. Like I still have my Joker statue that came with Arkham. Like when I pre-ordered the collector's edition of Arkham, the badass Joker statue that came with it. Like I miss that stuff. Like I understand digital is like a way easier way to go, but I just like I miss the old school collector's editions that you actually got like a thing with the game. You know what I mean? Not just like here's a reskin to download. Here's a code to download a new map pack, or you know what I mean? Like I miss that stuff.
I'll tell you what killed it right now is not us, is the scalpers that kill everything. It's just like you said, your Joker statue. So many people probably bought that game and then waited a couple years and then sold that Joker statue for like $100 on eBay. And then all these companies are like, well, screw these guys.
I think it's two things. I think it's one with the scalpers and like they're like, wait, we can reduce our cost of producing things like these statues, but we can still make a deluxe edition and still charge the same price and have just like virtual stuff. Like, so they're like, we're saving money by making more money. And then,
so what he's saying is they're saving money by cutting away any products for you, right? I'm helping Adam out here. They're taking away products from you, and then they're taking away more money. Like if you said the Joker statue, they had to pay to make that Joker statue. They had to pay for production, right? Okay, you seem like you're alive now.
Yeah, I'm alive, and like I was so excited to try to buy the Mortal Kombat like collector's edition, and so I went to go pre-order it. It was like the day that they released the pre-order for it, they were sold out. And then like I was like, okay. And I looked the next day, eBay already had them. It's not even out yet. eBay has them for sale for $500. Like, okay, it turned this $250 thing into it. And I tried the same thing with the Spider-Man game. It's like you can't do it. Like, it's just so annoying for scalpers to do that. And granted, like I could become a scalper, but like, what's the fun in that? Like, it just takes away from like the true like nature of collecting. Like, you know what I mean? And it kind of sucks nowadays that scalpers ruined it, but also like developers and game producers, like they're saving tons of money by not doing like or physical things.
If there's any scalpers listening to this podcast, we hate you and stop. Like literally, Target won't sell Pokemon cards because you're 47 and steal Pokemon cards from kids. Like, grow up. Like, Like I remember when even 5-6 years ago, probably like 7-8 years ago, remember the NES Classic? They were buying those out and selling them for like hundreds of dollars, when like just taking money from like non-gamers, because anyone that has a Switch knows you can get all those games on the Switch, but it's taking money from every dad that just wants to play a game with his son, and it's like, oh, it's only $300, let's get it. Like, awful. I hate those people. They're the scum of the scum. Sorry.
No, I agree. It's a little bit of nonsense. But anyways, I don't know, you guys, closing thoughts on WWE. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the game. I know I had a little bit of nonsense to talk about with the WrestleMania edition, but aside from that, I do think it looks a lot of fun, and a lot like Adam said, I do think they're taking the game in the right direction. And I'm a nostalgia junkie, and I love the fact that they're bringing back all of these like classic WrestleMania fights that like I grew up watching. Like I grew up watching all of these fights. Like it's I'm excited to be able to replay those moments. What do you guys think? Final thoughts on the game. You excited?
Yeah, it's the most excited I've been in years for it, if I'm going to be quite honest. I probably haven't been this excited for one since like 15, 16, so almost 10 years. And I'm very interested to see if they're going to take one match from each WrestleMania. I'm assuming the first few is going to be Hulk Hogan. Maybe WrestleMania 3 they would do Savage Steamboat. But I'm really interested to see which ones they pick. WrestleMania 25, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, right? Of course. Or is you're going to take Randy Orton, Triple H. Like there's a lot of like good options. You damn well know WrestleMania 20, it's not going to be Chris Benoit and Shawn Michaels and Triple H. That's not going to be in there. So I'm interested to see which one they pick off of that one. And like. Even from like the COVID WrestleMania, like what are they going to pick from that one? Probably Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. But yeah, I'm really interested in what matches they pick and what you can do with them. And yeah, it's the most excited I've been for years.
I'm always excited with WWE 2K games because like I said, they're not the best like sound games mechanically, but they're, like you said, Dave, it brings back nostalgia. The customization's really fun. Just be like making it feel real to you, like you're controlling them. So I'm excited about it in that sense.
Should be a good time. Again, guys, the game drops on March 8th, unless you want to ball out a little bit and get yourself the deluxe edition, which will run you $99, but you can play it a couple days early. But yeah, we are super, super excited about the game. Thumbs up from us. I do believe thumbs up across the board. Thumbs up across the board. Guys, the game drops, like we said, on March 8th, or if you want to ball a little bit, it's going to drop on March 3rd. We are all super, super excited for it. And yeah, dude, Chazz, thank you so much for being here, man. If you want, take a second, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me and my lovely co-host, one of them being Dave, on the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. You can find it on any podcast platform and YouTube, Fantasy Football Bros. And the off season is hitting now, but we are, going to try to do some non-football related material as well, similar to what you've heard today. So thank you, Adam, for having me. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Second time, two-time guest.
Our first returning guest, yeah.
Yeah, our
Thanks
first
for coming back.
Two-time
Always good
guest.
to have you.
Always good to have you, buddy. Thanks.
It's the off season. I'm down to nerd out. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.